In the heart of the wild, there is a moment between the breath and the strike where time seems to freeze. Imagine a world where a single mistake does not lead to a bad day, but to the end of a lineage. Here, the golden grass hides more than just predators, it hides the very blueprints of power and survival. Before we dive into the epic saga of a king who learned to rule through the weight of his silence, take a moment to join our community. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep descent into the mysteries of the natural world. The sun rises over Mala Mala, casting long, amber shadows across a landscape that has remained unchanged for millions of years. Among the thickets and the dust, a pride of lions rests in a state of deceptive calm. They are the undisputed masters of this terrain, yet within their ranks, a different kind of energy is stirring. Most cubs are defined by their playfulness and their clumsy attempts at aggression, but one young male stands apart. His name is Makulo, and he does not participate in the frantic energy of his siblings. Makulo possesses an observational intensity that is unsettling for a creature so young. While others tumble and roar, he sits perfectly still, his eyes tracking the subtle movements of the wind through the acacia trees. He is absorbing the rhythm of the savannah, learning the language of the birds and the warnings of the prey. This is not the behavior of a follower, but the quiet preparation of a strategist. In the wild, the loudest voice rarely belongs to the most dangerous individual. His stillness is a shield and a school, allowing him to see the world without being seen by it. He watches the way his elders move, the way they conserve energy, and the way they wait for the perfect moment to exert their will. This early divergence in personality is the first sign of a destiny that will eventually reshape the power dynamics of the entire region. Makulo is not just a lion, he is a witness to the mechanics of existence.
The lead predator.
First true lesson of his life arrives not through a lecture, but through the visceral reality of the hunt. A massive herd of grazers moves across the horizon, their hooves creating a rhythmic drumming that vibrates through the earth. Makulo follows at a safe distance, his eyes locked on the lead Leah. He observes her patience, the way she uses every dip in the ground and every patch of shade to mask her presence. He realizes that a hunt is not won by speed alone, but by the mastery of space and timing. He watches as she waits for the wind to shift, ensuring her scent does not betray her position to the sensitive noses of the herd. This is a game of millimeters and seconds, where the slightest rustle of a leaf can result in a week of hunger. Makulo learns that impulse is the enemy of success. He sees that the Leah does not strike when she is hungry, she strikes when the odds are overwhelmingly in her favor. This calculated approach becomes the foundation of his own survival strategy. As the hunt culminates in a burst of controlled violence, Makulo does not focus on the kill itself, but on the choreography that led to it. He understands that the mind must be mastered before the claws can be effective. He begins to practice his own movements, refining his gait to be as silent as a ghost passing through the grass. In these moments, the young lion is graduating from a mere observer to a practitioner of the lethal arts. However, the savannah is a fickle goddess, and peace is often a precursor to catastrophe. The equilibrium of the pride is shattered when the horizon is breached by the silhouettes of rival males. These are not wanderers, but conquerors looking to expand their empire through blood and intimidation. The air fills with the terrifying, guttural roars of challengers, a sound that signals the end of safety for the young and the weak. In the ensuing chaos, the pride is forced into a desperate retreat. The mothers attempt to shepherd their young through the darkness, but the pressure of the pursuit is relentless. In the frantic scramble to escape the killers, a gap opens and Makulo finds himself on the wrong side of it. He sees his mother look back, a glance filled with an agonizing mixture of maternal love and the cold instinct of self-preservation. She cannot stay, and he cannot keep up. The abandonment is swift and absolute, leaving the cub alone in a world that views him only as a snack or a nuisance. The silence that once brought him peace now feels like a heavy shroud. He is a king without a kingdom, a predator who has become the prey. This moment marks the death of his childhood and the birth of a survivor who will eventually be forged in the fires of isolation. The phase that follows is one of extreme hardship and profound psychological growth. Alone in the heart of the wilderness, Makulo must navigate a landscape where every shadow holds a potential executioner. He does not have the strength to fight, so he perfects the art of invisibility. He becomes a ghost, living in the margins of the territories of others, scavenging what he can and hiding when he must. He spends his days memorizing the intricate map of the land, learning which watering holes are safe and which are death traps. He tracks the movements of the great herds, not to hunt them, but to understand where the other predators will be. His loneliness becomes his greatest teacher, stripping away everything but the essential need to endure. He learns that resilience is not about how hard you can hit, but how much you can take while moving forward. During these long months of solitude, his body grows lean and corded with muscle, but it is his mind that undergoes the most radical transformation. He develops a strategic depth that most pride-reared lions never achieve. He learns to anticipate danger before it arrives, sensing the subtle shifts in the atmosphere that precede a storm or a raid. The boy who watched the grass grow has become a man who can read the very soul of the African plains. Destiny eventually brings him to a crossroads when he encounters a group of other nomadic males. In the world of lions, such a meeting usually results in a fight to the death, as each individual seeks to assert dominance. But there is something different about this encounter. The air is thick with tension, yet there is an underlying sense of recognition. Makulo does not growl or lash out. He stands his ground with a calm that demands respect. The other males, sensing a strength that does not need to be shouted, allow him to approach. There are no grand proclamations or displays of submission, only a quiet acceptance of a shared path. They are a coalition of outcasts, individuals who have realized that they are more powerful as a pack than as loners. Makulo finds himself part of a brotherhood, but his role is not that of a simple soldier. His entry into this group marks a shift in their collective energy. While the others are prone to brash displays of force, Makulo provides the tactical anchor. He is the one who watches while the others sleep, the one who analyzes the terrain before a move is made. He does not seek the spotlight, yet his influence begins to permeate every decision the group makes. He has found a new family, and with them, a new purpose. The true test of his burgeoning leadership occurs during a confrontation with a massive herd of Cape buffalo. These are among the most dangerous animals in Africa, known for their vengeful nature and their ability to kill lions with ease. The coalition is hungry, and the tension is palpable as they weigh the risks of the attack. It is Makulo who makes the first move, not with a roar, but with a deliberate, calculated advance that sets the tempo for the others. The group follows him instinctively, mirroring his pace and his focus. They move as a single organism, a coordinated strike force that bypasses the strength of the buffalo by targeting their weaknesses. The hunt is a success, but more importantly, it is a coronation. Without a single word or a fight for dominance, Makulo has become the de facto leader. The others look to him because his judgment has proven to be flawless. This is the birth of the spirit that would eventually define the legendary Mapogo coalition. It is a leadership built on the foundation of shared struggle and mutual respect. Makulo does not lead by fear, but by the undeniable evidence of his competence. In the harsh reality of the savannah, the individual who can provide food and security is the one who holds the crown. The narrative of Makulo is inseparable from the wider story of the African continent. This is a land of extremes, where the beauty of the landscape is often matched by its cruelty. During the years of 2008 and 2009, the region faced devastating droughts that tested the limits of every living creature. The rivers turned to dust, and the grass became a brittle, golden memory. In these times, survival requires more than just hunting skill. It requires a profound understanding of resource management. Makulo leads his group through the parched earth, relying on his memories of the territory to find hidden pockets of water. He sees other prides wither and die, their strength failing them as the environment becomes their executioner. But the coalition endures, their bond tightened by the shared experience of the struggle. These trials refine the creatures into something more than just animals. They become symbols of the eternal cycle of life and death. Every scar on Makulo's hide tells a story of a battle won or a lesson learned. He understands that the Savannah does not care about his history or his pain. It only cares about whether he is strong enough to survive another day. This indifference of nature is what makes his resilience so remarkable. The story also turns to the silent heroes of the pride, the mothers who ensure the continuation of the lineage. While the males guard the borders and engage in territorial wars, the females are the heartbeat of the pride. They face a constant barrage of threats from hyenas, leopards, and even other lions. Every cub that makes it to adulthood is a miracle of protection and sacrifice. Makulo watches over the young with a protective ferade that is born from his own experience of abandonment. He knows what it is like to be left behind, and he is determined to ensure that his own offspring do not suffer the same fate. His roars, once silent, now boom across the plains as a warning to anyone who would dare threaten his bloodline. The responsibility of leadership is a heavy one, but it is a burden he carries with grim determination. The struggle for survival extends even to the most desolate corners of the continent. In the deserts of Namibia, lions have adapted to a world where water is a myth and food is a ghost. These desert lions are the masters of strategy, capable of tracking prey across vast distances and taking down giants like giraffes and even young elephants. They are a testament to the fact that life will always find a way to adapt to the most extreme conditions. In the desert, there is no room for error. The heat of the day can reach temperatures that would kill a lesser creature, and the cold of the night is equally unforgiving. The lions here move like shadows, their bodies lean and efficient. They represent the pinnacle of evolution, where every ounce of energy is used with purpose. Their existence is a reminder that the environment dictates the rules, and the creatures must follow or perish. Whether in the lush valleys of Mala or the scorched sands of the Namib, the underlying theme is the same. Success is not guaranteed to the strongest, but to the most adaptable. The desert lions do not have the luxury of abundance, so they rely on their intelligence and their social cohesion to thrive. They are the tactical geniuses of the feline world, using the terrain itself as a weapon in their arsenal. As the sun begins to set on the era of any great leader, the scavengers arrive to claim their share of the world. Hyenas and vultures are not villains, they are the janitors of the ecosystem, ensuring that nothing goes to waste. The cycle of life is a closed loop, where the death of one creature provides the fuel for the next. This is the ultimate equilibrium of the wilderness, a system that has functioned perfectly for eons.
The sands of Namibia reveal an extreme environment. Yet here,
nature does not hold onto emotional memories. It does not mourn the fallen or celebrate the victors. It simply continues. The dust of the savannah eventually covers the tracks of the greatest kings, returning their bodies to the earth to nourish the grass that will feed the next generation of prey. This lack of sentimentality is what makes the wild so hauntingly beautiful. It is a world of pure presence where only the now matters. Makulo, the cub who was once left behind, has become a legend because he understood the power of the present moment. He did not let the trauma of his past define his future, but instead used it to sharpen his instincts. His journey from a silent observer to a respected leader is a blueprint for anyone facing overwhelming odds. He proved that the quiet ones are often the ones who are listening to the secrets of the universe. The story of the Savannah is a story of echoes. The roars of the past inform the movements of the present. As we look back on the life of Makulo, we see a creature who mastered the art of survival by embracing the silence. He did not need to shout his importance because his actions spoke with the weight of thunder. His legacy lives on in the genes of his descendants and in the stories told by those who witnessed his reign. In our own lives, we often face moments of isolation and abandonment. We feel like the cub left behind in the tall grass, watching the world move on without us. But the lesson of Makulo is that solitude is not a prison, it is a forge. It is the time when we can observe, learn, and develop the strategies that will eventually allow us to lead. Strength is not just about muscle, it is about the resilience of the spirit and the clarity of the mind.
With the old prides gone, this new generation claims.
Think about the challenges you are facing right now. Are you reacting with frantic energy, or are you observing like Makulo? Are you waiting for the wind to shift before you make your move? Success in the modern world requires the same patience and calculation as a hunt on the African plains. By mastering your impulses and focusing on the long game, you can transform your weaknesses into your greatest assets. We often believe that the loudest people in the room are the most powerful, but true authority often resides in the one who says the least. Leadership is about providing a sense of direction and security to those around you, just as Makulo did for his coalition. It is about earning respect through consistency and competence rather than through force. The quiet leader is the one who sees the threats before they arrive and prepares the group for the battle ahead. As we conclude this journey through the heart of Africa, I want to leave you with a question to ponder. In the savannah of your own life, are you the one who is running from the shadows, or are you the one who has learned to walk through them with confidence? The laws of nature are harsh, but they are also fair. They reward those who are willing to endure and those who have the wisdom to listen to the silence. If you found value in this story, please don't forget to hit the like button and share it with someone who might need a reminder of their own inner strength. Subscribe to our channel to stay connected with more stories of power, nature, and the human spirit. Your support allows us to continue exploring these epic narratives. Until next time.